What's popping? You know what it is. DJ E-Rock in the building. This might be Between Takes. This might be the Basement. This might be the full convo. Hey, as long as you're listening, you're watching, I'm all good with that because I got two special guests in the building. I feel like this conversation was definitely well overdue.
Absolutely.
Long overdue.
Absolutely.
I got the guys from Leverage Events. Go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick.
Brilan Kelly.
Dame Dacuma.
Talking to the mic, man. It's a podcast.
I know, right? We're
Talking to the mic, man.
We're trying to figure it
Talking
out.
to the mic. Put your chest in it. Come on. How y'all doing? Y'all good?
Good, man.
All right.
You're good?
Blessed
I'm
to be
very
here.
happy that we're having this conversation because it's like, you know, I wish I was there from the very beginning of when you guys started doing your thing. But then, like, you know, I came in, you know, I'll be honest, I came in a little late. But you guys were already thriving, doing your thing, making some big moments happen in Las Vegas.
For sure.
It's amazing to see, and it's very inspiring.
Appreciate that, bro.
For someone like myself, like, you know, I've been playing on the strip 13, 14, 15 years. I've never seen what you guys have done ever achieved really like that. And at the same time, you guys do it by yourselves,
Yeah.
on your own,
Absolutely.
with your own crew.
I'll tell you. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Your own energy, your own vibe, your own capital.
For sure.
That's amazing.
For sure.
Thank you.
It's inspiring, man. It's inspiring. So I wanted to, you know, get this conversation going, like, you know, and not only inspire myself, but I wanted to share this story because I feel like, you know, people need to know about what you guys are doing in the 702. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, man. Well, let's get this started, man. You know, Leverage Events is the name of the crew.
True.
How'd you guys come up with the name?
So Leverage started as like a corporation. We started with just sports betting, clothing, and yeah, we started as a corporation and kind of trickled down into branches of Leverage, pretty much, and stuff we were in. Am I allowed to cuss in here?
Yeah, you can say whatever you
My
want.
bad.
Don't
I'm
hold
trying
back.
to be professional. All right, yeah,
No, you're all good,
So
man.
yeah, it was just a bunch of shit that we were involved in and, you know, wanted to monetize, and yeah, that's how we came into Leverage Events. Hit up Jay, hit up Bree, and we were like, let's get this thing rolling.
So, like, you know, you guys have been together for how long now?
Known each other?
Well, I mean, as a company,
group?
collective, a group.
5 years in a group.
5 years.
5
yeah.
years.
Yep.
And how old are you guys right now?
27.
27.
25.
Fresh.
25.
Yeah.
So you guys are literally like, you know, like 20, 21, 22.
For sure, for sure. I was in
Already
I was,
thinking about big business.
I was in the club
Just
before
got
I was
it.
21. Yeah,
yes.
for sure. I was in the
I
club
mean-
before I was 21.
But that's amazing because it's like, you know, I mean, I know 35-year-olds that don't even think about big business, and they've been in this business for a long time.
Right.
But you guys, like, caught the knack, like, really early, though.
Absolutely. I think it was more like passion, you know, it was just more we already loved having get-togethers, and whenever, you know, we
That was like our bread and
would.
butter right there. It was just like we always found a way to come together with the homies, and you know, our nights just turned legendary. to the
Right,
point where
right,
it was
right.
like-
Talking to the mic a little bit more.
Oh yeah, to the point where, you know, at the end of the day, we was, you know, we could do this for fun, or we could actually go and try to make something shake in Vegas. So
For sure.
you know, it ended up working out well. I feel like we have a good community now that really vibes with the events, not only because of, you know, they want to support us, but for what SimCity really is. You know, so it's just cool to see.
So we are going to talk about SimCity and exactly what that is, because that's a very incredible concept, you know, that I love. I fell in love with it just from seeing it on Instagram and stuff like that. Like, I've been a big fan of what you guys have done there, but we'll get to that. So is everybody in the crew born and raised in Vegas, or?
Majority. I was born in Hawaii, but I moved here as a kid, like 1998. So
I mean, yeah, you're pretty much
Yeah,
raised
yeah,
here.
So
Nah,
yeah, I
for
say
sure,
like
born and raised.
90% of the group really has come from Vegas.
Mhm.
for sure.
So you've seen this city just like completely evolve,
Oh boy,
Absolutely.
I remember
like
we,
just expand.
Absolutely.
we used to
like-
stay. Remember, we used to stay down on Southern Highlands, like all the way, like you going to California, and that used to be nothing but dust
Dirt,
for
yeah,
at least
yeah,
like
yeah, for sure.
5-6 miles, bro. And to see all these houses and schools and all the communities being built, it's dope.
Yeah,
I love it.
for sure.
Like, what's your favorite part about seeing, like, you know, how this city has expanded, though? I mean, because there are pros and cons, because I do see a lot of people on, like, I like to call it Angry Vegas Twitter. Like, man, there's too many people. Stop moving here, this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
da, da,
yeah,
da.
yeah.
Like,
I'ma be
there's
real.
too much traffic.
Yeah, it's the freeways. This is ridiculous. No, I enjoy.
Okay,
I enjoy a nice ride to work. I shouldn't have to be having life or death decisions if I'm a merge on this side to get on Tropicana, or do I have to take Spring Mountain? That was the worst. So that's the only thing I don't like. But it's a lot more diverse now. You know, I do see that we got a lot of good food coming. You know, just by people moving here. So it's definitely there's a lot of pros. There's a lot of pros. That one con though, that's gonna be
The
tight.
traffic. What about yourself, Dane?
I just love Vegas because my whole family's here. You know what I mean? Like literally 100 plus deep, and we're all just super
100
tight.
plus deep.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
your whole family is
whole-
100 plus deep.
Most of my family on my mom's side is except for one of my aunts.
Now
They
I know
live
how
in
you
Hawaii.
pack these events.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Now I
poppin'.
know how you pack these events.
Regardless, yeah.
Yo, you got the
facts.
family group text. Hey,
Facts.
SimCity,
Everybody
it's
pull
on.
up.
And they all
We
come
there.
Every last one of them.
Nah, I just like it because I'm around the family and it's 10 minutes to get somewhere, 10 minutes to see them, and we have parties at the house every night. So it's just like I get to see them every day, and that's pretty much what I enjoy the most. So
I love that. Now you mentioned how you have like different segments or divisions. How Leverage started as a corporation, but you took literally you got different departments.
for sure.
Now I've seen on Instagram you have Leverage Closet,
Yes, sir.
you have Leverage Basketball,
Yes, sir.
you have Leverage Events.
Yes.
What else can we expect or can we see from Leverage as we speak or coming in the future?
Everything, everything. There's so much smart people and just talented individuals around the brand. It's like it's open for discussion for everybody to pitch something and hey, I think we should attach it to this. But yeah, to me, anything anything we could think of, anything that I think we have genuine passion for. Yeah.
And like individually or collectively, like we got a guy like my boy Evan, known him 10 plus years. He's about to come out with some of the dopest shades the city's ever seen.
For sure.
Wow.
For sure.
We have
So it's like
Hendo.
Leverage Eyewear. Let's say that.
No, it's his own
Or is it
specific
still-
brand.
We're gonna
Oh,
go
wow, okay.
specific
Yeah,
brand. Yeah,
but
so,
like to have it backed by us, backed by the
Absolutely,
fam, So
absolutely.
and we have Hendo, like one of the best detailers in the city. It's just we have so many people
Amazing.
with inside Leverage that have their own lanes and what they do and what they love. But at the end of the day, when we throw events, like that's us bringing all our worlds together. You know what I mean? All our heads together and kind of making something special. It's cool.
I feel like that's the moment where it's like you guys celebrate everything that you guys do.
absolutely.
It's like, yo, we've been doing everything. Let's just celebrate it.
Yeah,
It's really
for
what
sure.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick second and celebrate our moments real quick.
Yeah,
You know,
Sure.
Yep.
Need to.
can we talk about SimCity real quick?
I'd love
Do
that.
it.
I mean, that's an R&B party.
It is.
Yes.
All R&B,
Yes.
completely.
You might
we
catch
get
a little
ratchet
ass
every
shaking
now and then.
music.
Yeah.
you know
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying?
But collectively, like what the goal was just to bring that the culture of what we somehow grew up on is so weird. Like we all obviously we grew up, in different areas where when I was in Colorado, they were out here in Vegas, but like we all came up on the same 90s lovey-dovey 2000s R&B.
Shout out our
And
parents.
so we started like hanging together. Like he would be like, you know this, and wait, you know this. Like we're dudes. Like if we ain't rapping together, we probably ain't listening to that much music. But like we bonded together off of the love songs and the old school and just nostalgic feeling of what that was, and it just carried out through everything we did when it came to just our friendships, our relationships, as well as like doing business. So
For sure.
Dude, it's crazy because, like I said, I've seen that. Like even before I moved here, I've been here about a year and a half now. I was in LA for like 6.5 years. Before that, obviously the Bay Area, born and raised, little stints in Sacramento and stuff like that. So, but I've never seen anything like it where it's like you guys have 1,000, 2,000, sometimes 3,000 people in there,
Yeah, for sure. Whatever.
and
whatever the venue can
and
hold.
they're like like early 20s, but they're singing songs like Tevin Campbell, "Can We
Right,
Talk?"
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that song is already how old? Like it's as old as them probably.
sure.
Like how did that concept form? Like that's a very impressive thing where it's like, you got a young 21, 22, 23-year-old singing "Come and Talk to Me" by Jodeci, top of their lungs, when they probably weren't even around when that song came out. I can tell you, I was a sprite when that shit came out. I was young as
For
fuck.
sure,
But
for
how
sure.
did that concept come together? Because that's
think we
impressive when
caught-
you're connecting that generation to this generation today.
real.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I think we caught the wave. Like I mean, we could hold a lot of credit to us trying to really bring that culture to the city, but it was coming. Like that R&B culture was coming back, and you could tell in the music that slowly but surely, like it's about to get a little simpy, and that's kind of what came in terms of the newer style of R&B that came out with like the Summer Walkers and the Kalanis and the I believe Ari Lennox. Like they was like a lovey-dovey, miss me, kiss me type of feeling towards it, and then we could just see like nah, like if y'all like this, if this is what y'all girls like, you love this. You know what I'm saying? They got it from somewhere.
And,
So
and I think social media had a big play in it. We went to our first R&B party out in LA, one of the parties out in LA, and we enjoyed it. We loved it, So I think coming back to Vegas and saying, we should add our own twist to it. I think we have that demographic, and also me and Brilan always felt, just kind of like a duo, like always just, let's do something and entertain the crowd. So
And you guys MC these parties too. You guys are on the mic, full on putting on the show, getting people really like engaged with like the whole entire thing, right?
For sure. I think just being able to like have a conversation kind of on stage with somebody that's 100 feet away from you, and y'all just singing a song together. You know, I think that helps us, you know, retain the people that come and love to watch the show. So yeah,
it's incredible to see. I will say that, and I've always wondered, like, you know. I mentioned this earlier. I've never seen what you guys have done, like single-handedly, like, you know, just your own crew with your own relationships, your own crowd. You built this from the ground up. Like, what went into that? Like, you know, what goes into, like, literally, like, being able to pack a venue on the Strip? I mean, you guys, you know, and respectfully, you guys will pack a venue more than the venue could pack itself.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. And I was like, wow, what the fuck?
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
For sure.
You know?
Shout out our leader, Jay. Man.
Shout out Jay.
Like, he's our other partner that can't be here today, but we owe a lot to him because the groundwork that he put in to make this show to what it is today, it's not normal. It's not, the things that he does are not humanly possible sometimes. He will send 800 DMs in 2 hours. And then in 3 more hours, he might send
800 DMs.
This man's sick. I don't even know if you can
can
see his hands move. There's nothing else that's going on around him.
Does he have carpal tunnel?
Hey, he got about 2 more months. We're going to figure something out.
Nah, man, Jay's a beast.
Yeah.
And just
shout out Jay one time.
You know, just the work that he's put in, just making people feel special and giving them a reason to come back. Whether it's sending photos or, you know, giving you a personal DM on, you know, the experience that he had with you at the show. He just dives so deep into the people, and I think that's why the show really blew up the way it does, because I think people are attached to, obviously, us as a group because of how, you know, we try to hold ourselves to a point where we want everybody, and we want everybody to love us, to show them what we got going on, but they like this culture. It's different than what you get on the show.
And yeah, Jay's a beast, man. Since the event started, he's always been full-time. I don't know if y'all noticed about Jay. I'm going to drop this gem for y'all. For Jay, Jay actually graduated college in financial advising, and
he good with the numbers.
He's great with the numbers. And I was like, yo, let's, you know, we say this shit to each other all the time. It's like, you know, let's dive off the deep end without a life jacket, and we put that to the side and let's go 100% into leverage events. And he was ready for it and kind of, you know, turned that page and jumped into events, and it was crazy. Yeah.
I've tweeted this before. It's like when you understand ROI, which is return on investment, you look at everything different.
Absolutely.
Everything different. And ROI, return on investment, isn't just a money term. It's energy. It's time.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Friendships, you know, relationships, conversations. You know what I mean? Like, yo, and once you understand what you put out is what you reap, or just the return on the investment, and you look at everything different.
Absolutely.
Everything different. You know? Can you tell me what the process is of throwing an event at that magnitude without giving up too much of the sauce? Like, you know, I mean, we already know that Jay sends out 800 DMs. You send out one group text to the family. You got 150 people popping up that are all blood related to you.
And they bring their friends, and you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of good people in there ready to party.
I love that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, to go into how they're being
how does it start? Like, you know, that's what I want to capture.
So I think we work with our graphic design. I think the graphics play a big design. Shout out Gouda, shout out May, shout out, you know, everybody who's done graphic for us. We get that flyer going, and then we
build in the anticipation.
For sure, we build anticipation.
Let the flyer go, then we'll do, you know, like a. Dang, hold on. Is we giving up sauce? But
I mean, it's simple stuff. Yeah. Flyer.
But I think what sets it apart is just the attention that we have to the show, each one individually. You know, we work with, you know, some of the coolest DJs that I've ever been able to work with, as far as shout out DJ Kilo, Jaslyn Rich, Maria, B-Mac. The list just keeps going on, honestly. But we sit down and we really hand curate these sets. You know, so we're not playing. Yeah, A-Rock. Hey, we got to make sure we can fit in the schedule, sir. I don't know. But
we talking. We've had a preliminary conversations. Y'all hear preliminary conversations. But go on. I don't want to interrupt though.
But just really hand making those sets, so we're giving a different experience every time you come, but also letting the DJ, you know, release their own individual sound too, because a lot of these rooms that we're playing in, you know, these are great exposure for DJs to really get their name out there. And, you know, it's propelled a lot of DJs that we've had to further their careers in this game, because I think they understand that you gotta let them see you. You know, SimCity is what they're coming for, but the more that you can get them to see you, that transfers to the next person, to the next DJ, and now we just have this synergy going to where we have an in-house team, and, you know, we actually just recently added more people to the team. Shout out Trash Pandas. You know, I mean, like,
Okay, Andy Uops.
Oh man,
P-Dot, what up?
I heard them downtown. Shout out We All Scream, and it was one of the coolest sounds I had ever heard. And there's so many DJs like that downtown, so many. And you just give them a shot to get on the strip, and they gonna turn it up. I promise you. They have every time for us. All of them.
For sure. You know, one thing that I remember, and it was actually a really amazing thing, and I've been saying this the whole podcast, but like, you know, and it really like spoke to me was when you guys ended up doing SimCity at Dre's. All of y'all brought, like, you know, family members out to celebrate that moment. I want to say it was like one of the really first like big events on the strip, like full on billboards everywhere, 3,000 people, stuff like that. But like, yo, like, you know, I remember meeting, I think I met your parents. I think I met Jay's parents. Jaslyn's parents. I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. Like, how did that feel? Like, you know, to be able to have that moment, or what you guys have been doing full circle, like, you know.
I think just growing up, first of all, like growing up in Vegas and then attending Dre's, like, man, this is dope. This is
and then being
a dope spot to be at. Like the hip hop, you know, they would throw in the R&B, and it was just a dope spot to be at. So for us to get that call and just be like, yo, you know, and it kind of gave us that first nightclub experience, which I don't think any of us thought we would ever end up in a nightclub. You know what I like? It was never a thought, and then it became a thing, and now we're able to rock at any nightclub, and we feel the confidence to shut any nightclub down in Vegas. So I think
I've seen it.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen it
for sure.
I think it was the Blast Show. It was the first show after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you know, just driving. I'm a driver. You know, I like to drive kind of after shows and kind of just take everything in. And I was
because allegedly you don't like traffic. So.
Hey, brother, when that nighttime, it's just me in the street. That's all. Ain't nobody here. Late enough. And I'm just driving. And I kid you not, I'm just looking at the strip, and I'm just sitting there like, we just did Area 15, you know? So, like, my mind just expanded a little bit bigger to what we could really do. And sure enough, I look up kind of at the corner of my seat there, and I see Cromwell, and I see Dre sitting there shining at the top, and I'm just like, you know what? It's going to happen. Yeah. And literally everything that we come together and, like, you know, we talk about, it always ends up working.
For sure.
It's dope.
For somebody that's, like, you know, from out of town, maybe they're watching from L.A., the Bay, Phoenix, Texas, Florida, you know, I mean, it could be anywhere in this world, you know. What is one big takeaway that you want them to know about Las Vegas? What should they know about our city?
It's not as hot as everybody thinks, especially right now. I think the weather's beautiful right now.
It's amazing.
Like, I was out last night just laying in one of the day beds, and it's like, damn, it's just Vegas's weather is actually amazing right now. But I think everybody thinks you need to be on the strip to do something, and, you know, they think it's but there's a lot of culture outside of Vegas, a lot of food spots that could be hit up in Vegas, like Summerlin's popping.
Tell me about it.
During the winter, I think Lee Canyon, I love snowboarding, so shout out Lee Canyon and the boys over there. I love snowboarding. It's a 45 minutes drive from Vegas, so it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff to do in Vegas that's not on the strip, gamble, or go to the club.
Yeah, I'd say don't be surprised. Don't be surprised what starts to come out of Vegas pretty soon in terms of athletics, business, clothing brands, like anything, because it's growing and a lot of talent is starting to arise from the dust of the city, and it's going to be scary in a few years.
He said the dust of this city.
I mean, hey, it used to be nothing but dust when we first got here. Now we got a lot.
For sure.
And
it was dusty out here.
There's a culture
now we just
building
popping.
in Vegas.
Yeah, for real.
For sure.
It's going cool.
Nah, because, like, you know, I moved out here like a year and a half ago, and people still today, you know, they look at me and they're like, "Yo, I can't do it. I don't know how you do it. It's too hot." I'm like, no, the weather's easy.
Yeah.
The weather is easy.
Yeah.
But then some people have said, like, "Yo, there's no culture. There's nothing going on there other than, like, the strip." I'm like, no, that's not true.
For sure.
That is not true,
For
man.
sure.
So what would you say to somebody if they were to walk in here right now and go like, "Yo, Vegas got no culture. What you got to say about that?"
Come to SimCity. Tell us if we ain't got no culture.
Facts.
Would you say that like a majority of the people that go to SimCity are locals?
For
Oh,
sure.
but there is a
For
reunion
sure.
at
For
SimCity.
sure.
I've seen people that I used to work with when I was moving boxes at FedEx, or when I was in high school. Like, I've seen everyone at a Simp, and that's the coolest part about it, is because everybody's gonna tell you the same thing. You never know who you're gonna run into, but it's gonna be Vegas in there for sure.
I just think, it's just a bunch of cultures. I mean, Vegas is, a lot of people is moving to Vegas, so I think it's a bunch of cultures colliding and then becoming one, you know what I mean? So I think Vegas is really building its own culture and just being some cool motherfuckers for real.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I see that. I mean, we are, on the cusp of winning a Stanley Cup right now. It's not
Shout
a
out the
question.
Knights.
Yeah, shout out the Golden Knights, man. I'm a Golden Knights super fan. by
Oh,
the way.
really?
Well, I never really. I mean, living in the Bay, we had the Sharks.
Right.
But then when you live in the Bay, or you live like where I live, which was like Vallejo, Concord, Martinez, like you're up north. Like San Jose is a different world to
Right.
you. So like you're not really engaging
Can't
with
really
like
be a Sharks fan. Yeah.
you're just not engaged with it. It's too far. I
got
mean,
you.
dude, that's an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 10 minutes to watch a hockey game. But then when hockey came here, obviously it came at a really tragic time. October 1st. When we had that shooting at the festival and stuff, and when it brought people together, that was the first inaugural season, that whole entire year. But when it brought people together, it was really like inspiring to me. It was moving. I think I was I in LA yet? Nah, it was like my last year in the Bay Area, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I'm really seeing like a sports franchise like really like bring people together at a time of need, like and seeing that storied season where they made it all the way to the end. I mean, they came up a little short, but seeing like the pride that people had, especially going through something so traumatic that this city has never seen. And God bless those that were all affected. I knew a couple people that were affected personally. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was moving. It made me want to be a part of it. So then I remember I went to my first Knights game. Like, I want to say, it was that year. And I was just like, wow. Like, I'm like goosebumps. And
Yeah.
like, I'm experiencing a part of Vegas I've
sure.
never, ever seen
For
before.
sure, for
Never, ever felt before. And it gave me this real big sense of pride because Vegas has always been my adopted home. Always been my adopted home. And without Vegas, I'm not who I am. I'm not in LA. I'm not on the radio. I'm not traveling around the country. I'm not meeting these celebrities that I meet on a daily basis. I'm not here at Culture Kings.
Shout out Culture Kings.
Shout out Culture Kings. Vegas is really like, it's like my career.
Yeah.
Was Vegas born.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when people tap into the business side of Vegas, it's intriguing. Like I keep telling colleagues, like it's a gold mine out here. Like you can meet a lot of important people out here. There's a lot of space out here that's gonna be developed, and I think Vegas again with the culture being built with the Knights and the Aces, and hopefully we get them boys. Hopefully we get the A's.
Another Oakland team.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say it, man. Just go ahead and say it. We're gonna get the
but
A's.
hopefully we get them and they good, and hopefully the NBA. It's all going. I think Vegas is gonna turn out to be one of those cities for sure.
Absolutely.
More than it already is.
For sure. Any last words before we get out of here?
Nah, appreciate you having us. I mean, like you
Nah,
said,
man,
long time coming.
Long time coming, and I mean we'll definitely do like a volume 2 or something like
sure.
that.
Jay in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
Jay, shout out Pops, man. We
Shout
love
out the
y'all
whole
for
team.
real.
Leverage,
Shout out
man. We
Leverage
love y'all.
Events, yeah, for
Little
sure.
Keto.
And yeah, man, it's really like good to finally get this done. I don't know if you guys know this or you knew this, but me and Brilan had coffee
Oh, word.
for 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours, bro. Like the sun was coming down.
Chilling.
Motherfuckers were looking at us going like, yo, y'all,
What's in the coffee?
Same
yeah,
pot.
what's in the
Same
coffee?
pot.
Y'all
What's in the
motherfuckers still
pot?
talking? Y'all still here? But I'll end it with this. And you knew that this was coming. You knew that this was coming, man.
I do.
So
Just know it was so much respect put into this. Just so you know.
I don't know. We'll leave it up to the comments, like to determine. But nah, I loved it, man, because so towards the end of that 4.5, 5 hour conversation, we're just rapping, like just vibing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Vibing.
For sure.
I mean, dude, let alone I don't answer a phone call for 5 minutes. I was with Brilan for 5 hours having coffee.
Man, yeah.
Just talking about
regular day with
Vegas and-
Brilan. That's a regular day with Brilan.
But the best thing was at the end, and I'll never forget it. And you know, he was like, yo, man, I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to sit down with us and sit down with me, man. This was great. You know, and yo, we got to talk about working together, man, because if there's any old head in the city that we want to work with,
Don't that sound good?
it's going to
Don't that
be
sound
you.
like,
I'm like,
if
I
there-
look at him, I'm
We would be
like,
honored to have you with the.
I look at him like, you just, and I look at him, I'm like, yo, did you just call me an old head?
With love. That's literally what it was.
Hey, you gonna have to fend for yourself, my boy. I would have said like OG, vet in the game. You know?
Old head was aggressive.
Yeah,
was
just
aggressive.
yeah.
It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't
Nah,
aggressive.
nah.
No, I
Thank you.
took it in stride. I took it in stride.
Nah.
Hey, look, man,
Nah.
I've been playing here every weekend last 14, 15 years. You know what I mean?
in the
So
game. Yeah, I wasn't even
I
allowed
got a
in the
little,
club.
you know, little age on me. It's all good. You know.
A straight
Don't-
juice.
Hey, I'm the George Clooney of this shit. Come on, man. You know. Oh, yo, you know what, man? Before we're out of here, we got to talk about Daylight. I want to make sure that we talk about that. You guys have a residency there, correct?
Yes,
we do.
sir.
Okay, talk about that. How often it is?
Next show.
Shout out
is,
John Petty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out John Petty, Moose, John Parker. Yeah, we have our show July 7th, I believe, coming up. A couple days after
Summer
4th of July.
League gonna be
You
here.
already know how it goes.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your tickets. Leveragepresents.com. And yeah, we'll see y'all there.
Don't miss it. It's gonna be a movie, like always.
Let's go. You know what it is.
Shout out E-Rock, man.
Hey. Oh, you know what? Can we reveal the hair?
Oh, jeez. You can probably see it through the back. Come on now.
Oh, wow.
Clean cut.
I'm gonna put a picture up on
got some oil in
the
it?
screen. He had braids probably 24, 48 hours ago.
Oh
Just
yeah.
about.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've always known him to have braids. That's crazy.
8 years?
Damn
Come
it.
on, yeah.
Man,
New year, new
2017,
day.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
2017, yeah. Nah, for
25,
Sure.
I'm too old for the
25,
long hair.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I like to
man.
swim too much.
There he is. That's right. E-Rock, Leverage Events, Brilan, Dame. You know what it is. Culture Kings, Las Vegas.
Shout out Culture Kings.
It's the full convo. Basement. Between takes. Hey, I'm just glad you watching. Let's go.
Love.